Good morning, James, and thank you everyone for joining us for 2020 Media Day like none other. You can ask James a question by raising your hand. And we'll start with Eric Wilson.
Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Eric. I'm doing pretty good.
So we got about a week left before you get started with this season. Any big obstacles or biggest challenges still left to attain before you get started with the team and get this thing rolling?
No, I think it's just trying to get our level of play up to par where we can compete. I think I think if you ask every coach, they're not satisfied yet. So we are in the same boat. I think we're just trying to stay healthy, get healthy, and when I mean get healthy, I mean be able to play 40-minute games in a matter of in a short matter of time.
Right. Any adjustments that you're making this season, given that it is a shortened season and we're in this unique situation?
I think the only adjustments is we're probably going to have to do a lot more film study because we're going to try to keep them off of their legs as much as possible. So that's probably the main thing. More film study, less time in the gym.
Cheryl Ray out.
Good morning, James. How you doing?
Doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Yesterday, any of us that got to read your compelling piece on the Players Tribune was quite moved. What was the type of reactions you've gotten from what you wrote?
You mean after the piece? I've gotten a lot of support from within the W and outside of the W. It's opened some people's eyes. I had a great conversation just coming over to Media Day with Gary Kloppenberg, who was one of the first people that were vocal about it, and but from a lot of players, from our players on our team, they were very supportive as always, and players on other teams and coaches, and so it was pretty nice to have conversations. Eric Tebow, I talked to him this morning too. I talked to a few coaches, but it was it's been nothing but an outpouring of support, and it, of course, is really appreciated.
Was it kind of cathartic to do it, and what type of emotions goes through your mind when you wrote it?
A lot, and it's a difficult place to to express it, but a lot of emotions go through it, especially when it makes you reminisce about times prior to that have been similar. So a lot of emotions. I don't think it's a place where you want somebody to be emotionally because it causes so much pain and so much hurt, and it's so real. So it's not. I'm not a big fan of going there, but it's where I've been forced to go more often than not.
Thank you. It was really quite moving, and I appreciated it quite a bit.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate your words.
Jake Meister.
Hi, good morning, Coach. How you doing?
Morning, Coach. Morning, Jake. I'm sorry. I'm repeating you. It's too early.
No, all good, all good. I totally understand that. I'm curious to know what significance does it have to you personally about just opening up the season on a nationally televised game on ABC next Sunday? What opportunity does that present for the team?
I think it, it kind of, I guess, if we're on ABC, I couldn't have, imagined us being on ABC to start the season. And I think it's a ode to our players, and, their level of play and who they are and where they are as players. So for us to be, get one of those prime slots on ABC this early in the season, I think it's our players that warranted that and that deserve that, and so I guess it means that somebody's doing something good.
Thank you, sir.
James K.
Hey, Coach. One thing I was kind of curious about is how Ezra is working into your system? I know that you guys don't have a ton of time to get her incorporated like before the playoffs. I know that I'm confident you guys will make it there this year, but what do you hope to in terms of just in a short 22 game span, just trying to get her ready, get her implemented into your system? I mean, how are you trying to accelerate that process?
I mean, I appreciate your confidence, first of all. I think, we try to get up and down, and we do a lot of player development with her. And like I said earlier, we do a lot of film study, specifically individually, and a lot with her because she's one of the pieces that hasn't been in our offense before. But we did a lot of film study of her before, and we felt that it should be a seamlessly transition, like a seamless transition. But we weren't. You're still not sure till the product gets on the floor, but we don't think it's going to be that much of a transition. The only thing that we were worried about probably the most is the fatigue factor and her getting adapted to playing 40 minutes in a 40-minute game because she hadn't really played in a year and a half, So that was probably the thing that concerned us the most. But she's a player, and the WNBA is about talent, and if you have talent, then that's going to help you. And so we're not worried about incorporating her. We're just worried about getting her body right, and we think our offense will complement her, and she will complement our offense.
In terms of health, how is she doing right now? Do you feel like she's fully recovered from her injury from last season?
We think so. We think so. She's been playing, hasn't had any breaks in any of our schedule or anything like that. And so she's been a consistent force and, being on the floor, and she gets through a whole entire practice now. What's going to be important for all the players is that they're doing what it takes to recover off the floor. And so they've been doing a good job, giving massages and icing and doing all the things that you need to do to kind of continue to compete at a healthy level. So
great.
Allison Moran.
Is nice to talk with you again. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Okay, terrific. I get all these prompts, and so I want to make sure that that y'all can hear me. Anyway, first of all, welcome back. And how have you mentally prepared as this, the pandemic and everything like that? How did you mentally prepare for a different type of WNBA season?
Well, the good thing about it is when I was in quarantine in France, and I had a chance to just really collect my thoughts because we couldn't go anywhere. And I spent a lot of time with my family, and we just talked about different scenarios, different things, and how important it was to get your mind right for, a long haul. And I also did Zoom meetings with the team as well, and we talked about the things we had to do to be mentally okay. And so we decided that we were going to go there and come here and lean on each other. And
Mm-hmm.
And so that's the whole approach that I want us to, right now we're in a bubble, but we're with our family, and so that's how we have to approach it. That we have to make it a family environment within ourselves, within our group, within our team, and that's how we're going to get through it. We're going to lean on each other, and we're going to get through it.
And as a follow-up question as well, you guys had a really great 2019 season, and as you come into this season, what are your expectations?
I don't have any.
You told me that last year too, Coach.
Yeah, I told you that last year too.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay consistent, and it's just how I've lived life,
Mm-hmm.
If I think my life has kind of taught me to do different.
Mm-hmm.
I had an expectation that I was going to go into coaching, and
Mm-hmm.
and it's nothing against middle school coaches or anything like that, but I just thought I would be probably coaching in a middle school somewhere. Just when I was playing, I never thought that I would be doing this. And but imagine if I put that expectation on myself back then and said, okay, let me look for a middle school job or just coaching and coaching youth. And I think it's actually just as important or more important as coaching at this level. But the difference is that we're coaching the best athletes in the world. And if I would have put expectations on myself, I wouldn't have never gotten a chance to coach the Allie Quigleys, the Courtney Vandersloot's, the DeShields, and all them. So, I don't want to put any expectations on us, because if I say, oh yeah, we're going to get to the playoffs and that's all we're shooting for, then I think it's something, that we underachieve. So I'm not going to put any expectations, and that's how I'm going to always put it on. That's how I'm going to always coach. That's how I'm going to always live my life. And so I want our team to reflect that. And so coming from me, we don't have any expectations. We're just going to try to bust through whatever we have to bust through.
Great. Thank you, Coach.
We have time for about 2 more questions with James, so we'll go to Eric Wilson.
Coach, you talked about making sure you get your timing and your rhythm and your continuity down. Can we expect more rotation this season, given that it is a 22 game season, when it comes to keeping the ladies fresh, to make sure that you're always putting, the right energy and making sure that everybody's just always good to go?
So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make sure everybody is up to speed, because we want everybody to play. Everybody's going to have to play in order for us to, reach, our maximum level. We're going to need everybody to contribute, and especially with the short turnaround. You've seen the 11 games or 10 games, 17 days, 11 games, 19 days. You've seen that on the schedule. So it'll be hard to have a short rotation. We'll have to have, the longest rotation possible. And since we're playing with 10 players, we're going to need every last one.
Okay, great. And Jake Meister. Oops, sorry, Holly Rowe. We want to get to you.
Hey, Coach, I know you don't want to use the word expectation from what you just said, but what is it that you see about Diamond DeShields that is special, and what does she need to do to achieve even more of her potential?
So the things that I see in Diamond is, she has a generational talent as far as, her athleticism, her feel for the game. And it's some things that you really can't teach, and it's just, and they naturally come to her. I feel like for her to take the next step, I just think she has to just understand that. And now it's going to be the relationship on the floor with her teammates and using them to make her job easier. And just dominating as much with her athletic ability on both ends of the floor. I think those are the things that is probably going to take her to the next level. She's very coachable, very aware, and so and I have fun coaching her. So I think those things are just the next step for her, and it's just maturity, just growing into knowing the league and knowing the players that you're playing against and knowing the teams that you're playing against, and that takes time. So she's on her way, and we're happy.
Okay, great. Gabe Ibrahim.
Hey, Coach. I was wondering if you could, I know you don't want to use expectations. So just what's
Hey, Gabe, I've never heard that word so much in my life.
It's preseason. We've been doing a lot of these, Coach. But I want to ask about Stella. She, a couple weeks ago, she probably wasn't in your plans, and now she is. So what are you going to challenge her to do? How do you see her being successful this year?
So Stella, no, she wasn't. She was someone that was on our radar during the draft, and we knew that she had talent. I think one of the the big things for her is we didn't know how it was going to translate from mid-major to the WNBA. But she's someone that she could score the ball, and it's something about her that she's a natural basketball player. And so when she first got here to the bubble and she started to practice with us, it was a little tougher for her, so we couldn't see it. Then after a couple of days, we started to see her get comfortable and start to do things on the floor. And we was like, okay, we this is what we wanted to see. And it's just a level of her being persistent, continue to learn the plays, understand the rhythm of how fast it is and how athletic it is. And we know she's capable. So we're patient with her, but she's done some nice things, and sometimes she's done some eye-opening things in practice. So it's good to watch her grow, especially in this short amount of time. It's really good to watch her grow.
All right, thank you, James. Your second media day in the books. So we'll have Stella.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.